Hi, everybody. Wow. Okay. Going on 14 years, checking out all of the weather warfare as much as I could possibly check out, just my being one individual, and noticing that everything was just getting worse as we continued on year after year after year. And I have to tell you, I was overwhelmed today, overwhelmed looking at the amount of destruction in so many states that it is I kind of feel a little, like, speechless. So many states, so many counties within the states, we have about 4,000,000 without power, okay? It is to say that things are getting worse is an understatement. It's an understatement. And I I don't know if you got a chance to take a look at probably not like I did, but so many people have lost their homes in so many states. We have now over 40 dead. 40. We had tornadoes and the hurricane and the winds, and wow, we've got dams that are, well, overflowing, shall I say, mandatory evacuations to get people out of the way of dams, plural, okay? Um, and so much that really needs to be questioned. Okay. I really do hope that those of you who are close to these areas are going to get out there to try to help those who are really needing an awful lot of help. I hope you do. It's what we need to do for one another. Okay. Just want to say hello. Quickly, Crazy Pots. Hi. Justin Wynn. Sandra. I'm glad that you're okay. Alicia DeMoss up in Ohio. Remnants of Hurricane Helene. Remnants. It's okay. I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. And I've seen an awful lot of destruction, and I've seen the scale of destruction. It's been big throughout the years. This unprecedented, should we even say that word anymore? Because it feels like everything's unprecedented, but here we go. And I just want to make sure that everything is working. Okay. Uh, you're kidding me. This is still Hurricane Helene. But now they're calling it a tropical storm up in Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, swirling around. What am I even looking at? And look how defined it is right on the top of this so-called weather front. We really are at war. They are really using the weapons. And it's really unfortunate that we have an awful lot of people who are just, bowing down to government. That's their religion, statists who believe whatever the government officials tell them. And of course, from government, you get it to mainstream media, and they're United Nations, they're barking loud about climate change. About climate change. Well, so Alicia DeMoss, we're trying to get our generator going so I can charge my phone, watch live tonight. The power went off at 1 and not sure when it's coming back on in Ohio. And Ohio, I went to the power outage map and I saw that there were 16,000 plus without power in Ohio. When I went back to check, well, let me check right now. Ohio, 329,040. That was within just a couple of hours. So that was today, knocking out what? Like 310,000 in a couple of hours more without power. Remnants of Hurricane Helene in Ohio. Don't you think people need to question how is it that these hurricanes seem to just plow on through an awful lot of states, causing massive destruction? They used to make landfall and they would almost immediately begin to dissipate and weaken. They don't weaken anymore. Okay. Yeah, you get a little crazed. So we had some bad winds all day today, tore up Alicia's roof, caused lots of power outages here in southeastern Ohio. And sad thing is, my insurance will not fix my roof because they say it's too old. They wouldn't fix it 5 years ago when we had storm damage to the roof. A whole lot of Americans getting screwed, and I'm sorry to hear that, Alicia. L24, thank you. Nice to see you. Andrew Cruz, Joni, T. Lamb. You know, it was interesting because here T. Lamb is saying World News showed exactly one beach in Florida. All other news, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina. I'm going through an awful lot of sites to look at what's happening. And all I kept getting was Atlanta and Georgia, as if the hurricane just jumped over Florida. It didn't, but yeah, it's hard to really get the news that you need. But Shauna, hello. Joe, hi. Tony Punch, hi. Analog Synth Player, Oracle 11, Barb in Ohio. When we have these kinds of happenings, I do like to see subscribers afterwards because I can at least, feel, all right, Barb in Ohio is okay. Alicia, even though she sustained some damage to the roof, she's okay. Sandra in Florida is okay. But there's more, so not sure what's happening. Angelos, hello. Patricia White. They don't want people living, Sandra. They don't want people living on the Gulf Coast. Well, they don't even want people in Ohio. Jane Northrup, Julie. Yeah. Space Indian. Amber Eyes. Silent Walk, Ray Clay. They've just unleashed an evil fury all over the world. Kim Blanchard. Ain't buying it. Yes, I did see Real Fishing Life. Never have I felt, and I was thinking about it, I don't think I've ever felt such an impact from a video like I did with his. And it took a while to shake how I was feeling. So, Cheryl, Tinfoil, Tahara, hi. Lapter, Crosshatch. Your friend got evacuated? Asheville, North Carolina. Elizabeth, hello. So, let me just start. This is Helene. If you're looking at this and you don't notice how bizarre this thing is, then you haven't really seen much radar. But even still, anybody who understands that hurricanes in the past and hurricanes today are drastically different, they would then begin to understand, well, how come it's still kind of going? So there were tornadoes. There were a lot of tornado warnings. There still is tornado warnings for Virginia, Halifax, North Carolina, the counties Granville, Person counties. Okay. Severe weather. Very interesting. 2 active severe weather warnings. So all the severe weather is gone. I guess it's now just a tropical storm in Ohio and Indiana and Illinois. And the severe weather or special marine warnings. So right on the coast, waterspouts, San Marcos, Wreck and Windmill Point, waterspouts. Up here in Delaware, Virginia. All right. Here we go. So, town in North Carolina. This is what it normally looks like, right? Looks like a cool place. This is what it looks like now.
All right, guys, just to give you an understanding of the devastation we're dealing with here. Chimney Rock's gone. Flying Bridge is gone. And the fucking road's gone. So, I don't know what they're going to do to get us out of here, but we have to figure it out. This shit's crazy. All right, guys, just to give
Chimney Rock, just one more look. North Carolina.
Begin with the breaking news. Helene is still wreaking havoc across the southeastern U.S. At least 25 people are dead across 4 different states.
It's now more than 40.
After Helene roared ashore in Florida overnight.
Anybody in your house? Fire department! Come on out, we got a boat!
That's video of crews racing to rescue people trapped inside burning homes in that part of Florida. The storm went from a Category 1 to a Category 4 hurricane and then back to a tropical depression today, all within the span of 24 hours. Right now, multiple states are facing once-in-a-lifetime flooding. Just look at those images. More than 3 million people without power. According to our NBC affiliate WCYB in northeastern Tennessee, more than 50 patients and staff members were trapped on the roof of a hospital earlier today because of rising floodwaters there. Our NBC News crews have this storm completely covered. We've got Kathy Park in Florida for us. We've got Priscilla Thompson in Georgia, meteorologist Bill Cairns tracking where Helene is headed next.
Kate, good afternoon. So the damage is widespread here in Steinhatchee, and it's really just devastating to see all of this up close. The storm surge here in this area reached roughly 15 feet, and it looks like the storm swallowed a portion of this community. We're standing in what used to be a longtime restaurant, Roy's, and you can see just the toppled cinder blocks, the kitchen appliances scattered everywhere. There are utensils on the ground as well. We're going to swing our camera over to the right here, and this is the river. And when the storm surge came in, all of this water pushed over. You can see the debris has collected over here to my left. And those are docks that you're looking at. And those have completely just been crushed in. And over to my left here is what's left of that restaurant, Roy's, as I was mentioning. And Kate, earlier today, I had a chance to speak with some residents who live in this community. They did ride out the storm, not in their home, at a different location. They are doing okay. But after weathering this powerful Category 4 storm, they say they have never seen anything quite like this. Take a listen.
I was in shock. This is the worst I've ever seen it here. I'm glad I left. But I'm glad I still have a house left. So I got something to work on. So.
And you got a chance to go up there. What did you see inside?
Well, it's got mud and all that, and everything's been floated around.
But her house is still there. So, North Carolina dam suffers catastrophic failure. Evacuate area immediately. Residents of Coke County, Tennessee, are asked to shelter in place after a North Carolina dam suffered a catastrophic failure. Waterville Dam. And I'm not entirely sure what has happened because it was hard to find, information. But there's another dam that is also, well, they've been saying imminent, but this is the dam failure. Tennessee town flooded. Yeah. Oh God, people need to start really engaging their local conspiracy theorists and having adult conversation with them.
We're looking live right now of what's unfolding. Newport, Tennessee. This is the dam failure. And look at how this town has been completely taken by floodwaters. This is Scott Moore's video coming into us. And this is a really dangerous scenario. And note too, it's not raining. The rain has stopped in the mountains. This is purely all of that water near up to 20 to 30 inches in some of those higher elevations that's filling up those rivers, putting so much pressure on these dams.
And it's been very confusing trying to find out how many dams are collapsing. But here it says Walters Dam. The names seem to change. So this is Walters Dam, and this is Waterville Dam. And there's another dam that I can't even remember the name, but maybe I'll see it here. Lake Lure dam failure. But just reading some of these tweets, I am not going to sugarcoat this, but this is catastrophic in the mountains right now. These are all the flash flood emergencies. That's quite the wide swath of emergencies. In effect now, landslides, floods, dam failures, washed away homes, and bridges are everywhere. We don't even know how bad it is in spots because they can't get to them. All interstates in western North Carolina, all interstates in and out are closed or blocked, and most state highways are blocked too. All roads should be considered closed. They have shelter in place for some counties. I-40 in North Carolina was closed due to a mudslide. The Waterville Dam has suffered a catastrophic failure. So evacuation of all of downtown Newport immediately. So perhaps this is just mainstream media getting the name wrong. It should be Waterville, not Walters. I don't know. And here, 3 cyclones: Hurricane Isaac, Tropical Storm Joyce, Tropical Storm Helene, all together. Kirk is next. Yeah, Helene, tropical storm all the way up in Tennessee. So we have more coming our way. It's not good, to say the least. So I have recommended Tommy Bites Homestead, who I believe lives in North Carolina. Not entirely sure, but here.
Blocked on one of my roads that I was trying to get out from my house at, and had to be forced to go another way, and I had to go past this dam right here. So let me show y'all.
And this is another dam.
Look at how it's under the bridge right there. But this is basically everybody's going to have to come this way across this bridge if they live over where I live, because the road is blocked.
And are they going to be taking down this bridge? What is the force of the water right at that section? I don't know. It maybe be something in the water that's creating that. But there's a lot of people who are trapped also due to road closures, due to flooding, that, the water is going so fast, remarkably fast, that nobody can even cross it.
The internet is out, the power is out, because a bunch of trees fell on some power lines and laying across the street. There aren't even any work crews out there as of yet. This is insane. And I have passed already 2 dams before I even got to this dam. I've been busy all morning, y'all. All the preparing that you do, it's like you cannot fight Mother Nature when it's like this right here, and you live around a bunch of water. The whole downstairs, like the garage area, water came all up in there. It was so much water in there that it went into the house. I did record it. I don't have time to put it up right now. So I said, I'm going to go live. This is in insane. We got it bad here in the mountains of North Carolina. And it's not supposed to rain tomorrow, but it's supposed to rain Sunday. My husband will be in town tomorrow because I still have water that I got to get out of the garage. I got as much out as I possibly could. But yeah. And right now I'm headed to, I was headed out to go and get something. The chickens, they were flooded out, even though I added a lot of shavings to them. Their tarp was hanging on. It wasn't even on top. It was just hanging off on the side. Water was just flowing through multiple, like 2 areas of my property, but mainly going through my property to my neighbor's yard, and it was like a river in their yard. So it's like, I'm gonna walk over here.
All right, I will post the link. She talks about what's happening in her neck of the woods more than you heard, but this is really something, okay? It's really something. Now, I saw early this morning Real Fishing Life's reaction to the unbelievable man-made Hurricane Helene, and indeed it was, right? So let's just listen for a few minutes, and he mentions, oh, look, we have another designated area for either a tropical storm or a hurricane. Oh, wait a second. A week ago, we saw this exact place for Hurricane Helene.
24. We just got done with their man-made storm last night, major hurricane. But look at this. Possible disturbance area, development area. The exact same scenario that just played out. Not a cloud in the sky. And they're already saying we need to watch for a hurricane. They just got done with the most manipulated storm system I have ever seen. And they're saying they're going to develop another one in the same area where there's no weather. I can only imagine what we've been sprayed with. There's something wrong with me right this second. Feel something in my chest for the past couple days. And this morning I can really feel it in my chest. This is not good. I was really sick in Alaska this spring from something I've never seen before. Let's put it into motion the last 44 hours here. I've never seen such unusual light in a storm as this one had. What was most unusual to me, which I wish I could have reported on, was how squared off the weather system was up here. Zoom out. Everything's so glitchy this morning, man. They are laughing at us, my friends. They control our weather. I wish I could really control it on this part. But watch how this gets squared off here. From the machine. It was the most unusual machine workings I've ever seen. This whole flat edge here. And I thought hurricanes had calm before the storm. These people never had any calm weather. It was massive material being pumped out of the Gulf of Mexico the whole entire time. Nothing natural about these systems. You can see major ripples going on.
Okay, and I'm going to post the link. He goes on for another 15 minutes talking about, yes, the manufactured storm. Hours later, real fishing life. We lost everything.
Our buddy's body shop. We're up here on US 19. You can see the water line already. I hadn't even drove back in here where my mom lives. Put it back in here. Oh, poor people. We just got flooded, and this is the worst one we've ever seen. The no-name storm of '93 was the worst I've ever seen it, and this is higher, in my opinion. Let's see, water line. Yeah, it would be up to my window in my truck here. No-name storm. This house did not get water in it. It came up to the door. And I don't know. I would say it got wet this time. The no-name storm, that house did not get wet. I don't see the water line. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, much higher than the no-name storm. Oh my God, Rob. My uncle, I told him I wanted to come get him. It's over my hood here, man. The water line is. Look at it.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to get the chat current.
Here on this house. I can see it from here. Up past the window, way higher than anything we've ever seen. That's Harry's painting house. We've known all these people our whole lives. Everybody lost everything. Again. Boats off the trailer. Tide is still extremely high. These people, this was fixing their house up from last year. Everybody's got to move. These storms aren't going anywhere. They're already developing a new one now. They're controlling our weathers, my friend, our weather. Look how high the water is. It is above my head in my truck at this point. Total loss. I hope my uncle's not hurt over here. I told him, he's like, no, I'm used to this. No, he's never seen this. We ain't never seen this. Oh my God. Stand by. This is my mom's house. The refrigerator's flipped over again. We were just about to remodel it. Everything was packed up to leave. Oh my God. Everything. Oh my God. Oh my God. We lost everything. Oh my God. Steve, are you here?
I don't even know what to say. But yeah, I don't think any video has ever impacted me quite like this one has. And they were renovating because his mother's house. They had to buy all new appliances because of the flood previous to this one. A whole lot of people are getting it over and over and over again. And you can't keep you. First of all, even, financially, a whole lot of people just can't do it anymore. But physically, you just get so drained having to do this over and over and over again. You'll help him now, and you'll be right back. How are you going to help him now, Sandra? Because if anybody else can, that would be great. I'm so sorry, Real Fishing Life. I'm just so sorry. And of course, strange looking radar, you think? Okay. Current power outages. Florida, over 500,000. Georgia, 850,452. South Carolina, 1,157,667. North Carolina, 806,364. Virginia, 217,241. Tennessee, 75,611. Kentucky, 181,792. Ohio, 3. Oh, they've restored maybe a couple of thousand. Ohio now is 309,889. I'm sorry. We've got West Virginia, 87,145. Tennessee, I said 75,000, right? And Indiana, 99,360. This is a lot. Oh, that's Virginia. California, 10,847. So, Helene leaves deadly path of destruction in South Carolina.
Helene wreaking havoc across the Carolinas and Georgia.
The main concerns tonight, the historic flooding and downed trees, causing thousands to be left without power. The storm turning deadly across the southeast. In South Carolina, more than a dozen people have died and a number.
Look at this. Her name is Carol Clark, spelled with an E. Oh my God. There's 2 of me out there.
A number of those are in the upstate.
State officials this afternoon calling the storm historic.
But one thing different about this one was that we knew it was going to hit the upstate harder than usual, and it really did. Fortunately, we were prepared. We had people positioned there, but we can't stop the waves, can't stop the rising water, can't stop the rivers, and certainly can't stop the trees from being uprooted when they've had days and days of rain.
How about stopping weather modification and geoengineering? And then you could stop a lot of what you think you can't stop. And I'm sorry, as far as I'm concerned, these governors know full well that man is controlling weather. They can't be that stupid, ignorant.
Before the storm got here.
We have live team coverage tonight as cleanup across the Carolinas and Georgia begins. We'll get to meteorologist Griffin Hardy in just a few minutes, but first, we start tonight in Spartanburg County with our Rashad Williams. Rashad, the coroner, holding a news conference.
As 34-year-old Anna Marie Smith. We'll continue to bring you the latest from Spartanburg County as the night progresses. Back to you.
Thank you, Rashad. Helene turned deadly in Anderson County as well as the storm moved through.
Our Maya Payton joins us live with more. And Maya, what have you learned about the two women who died?
Yes, Nigel and Carol were earlier while I was speaking with the coroner. He recalled the moments finding these victims. You know, he says these were not just homes damaged, but lives and futures cut short. We're here at the first victim's home on West Whitner. You can take a look at how huge this massive tree is. Walk with me. It literally reaches right across this entryway here at the mobile home park, splitting this mobile home into two. Now, the coroner says that this devastation that's left here today, it speaks to the dangers of nature. He says that this tree here took the life of 55-year-old Christine Shemeski. We have video also of the second victim's home on Witten and Williams Road, a tree crashing down on a home there, taking the life of 54-year-old Sandy Fisher. Now, the coroner says one was in their home at the time in the bedroom, and the other one was in her living room at the time when these trees fell. Now, it just speaks again to the
dangers of nature. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. It just gets really tiring, right? And Greenville.
Through this afternoon, and as you mentioned, it is a historic storm. It's historic flooding. City leaders today saying that that is no different here at the Reedy River.
I was there. Very cool place in Greenville. And when I was there, the water just trickled. And there are rocks underneath that water where, you know, you could walk through. Not now. So, rescuers race to free people trapped.
Off the top here at noon, first responders out in full force. Crews making rescues since the overnight hours after Helene made landfall last night as a Category 4 hurricane.
Crews dealing with both floods and flames, like at this home near Tampa, water rising from below, a fire burning above.
Lightning strikes causing power lines and transformers to spark, millions left without power in Helene's wake.
And the city of Atlanta under a flash flood emergency until the end of the hour.
A live look now at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Flags flapping and waves crashing. The system still causing problems as it moves north. Good afternoon. Helene proving vicious and deadly. The storm blamed for more than a dozen deaths, including a first responder in Georgia.
We have extensive team coverage this noon. We begin with 7's Nicole Ensalada live in Perry, a community that got the full brunt of impact. Nicole.
Well, they absolutely did. And, you know, this is not for the first time. They have had 3 storms since last year. But let's show you a little bit of the latest one. We are on one of the main streets here in Perry, and you can see in this motel, all right, you see what looks like an awning that's down, right? The gutter broken. But take a look when you go further down and you get the full picture. This entire awning came down. I spoke off camera to a gentleman here. He said no one was hurt, thankfully. But look at that. Let's go ahead and show you some video. Here in Perry, we're going to show you first a house that had a tree come down, and tree damages, that's what you see most of around here. Not only did it come down very close to the house, but also pulled down power lines. Fortunately, though, it spared the house. And we can go to our next piece of video, just more damage, this time a store that actually has been shut down for a while, but the folks still own it. They've owned it for decades, and they have tried very hard to make sure that everything, stays the way it's supposed to be, and to make sure it was secured. But boy, a whole wall, cinder blocks came right in, and the roof came down as well. Folks, early this morning, though, also reflecting on how it all went last night.
Now, Hurricane Helene made landfall right here, Perry, Florida. And this looks actually better than an awful lot of places in Tennessee, in North Carolina, in Georgia.
It was rough. It was very windy. It was everything was just moving everywhere.
Just a lot of wind. You could hear the trees snapping outside and rain going really crazy. I lost my whole house in Idalia. I had 2 big pine trees go down through the whole thing. So.
And here you guys are again.
Oh yeah, one after the next.
One after the next, and that.
One after the next. Clearwater.
In Clearwater, walking through water up to their waist, carrying homeowners to safety. They experienced record storm surge that nearly doubled from previous storms.
Now that caught a lot of folks, old timers who have lived on Clearwater Beach by surprise, really throughout our Tampa Bay region, throughout our islands along Tampa Bay.
The videos are shocking, and the damage will be extensive to several counties. First responders in South Pasadena, a community west of St. Petersburg, Florida, dealt with rough waters, debris floating in the floodwaters, and house fires. In Pasco County, which is the county north of Tampa, officials with the sheriff's office say they rescued roughly 200 people from rising water overnight. In Lee County, body camera video shows the sheriff's office Marine unit rescuing a man in Fort Myers Beach. We know deputies used swamp buggies. In Tampa, this is an aerial view today of the issues there. Flooding makes it hard to distinguish between the Bay and Davis Islands, which is right next to downtown Tampa. The mayor says the National Guard is helping with rescues in their community. And check out this video of the causeway going into Treasure Island, Florida. It's a beach community west of St. Pete. You can see large boats that flooding carried and slammed up against homes. Governor Ron DeSantis credited.
Can't listen to him. There are so many people. A whole lot of people, really, in need. In need.
90 minutes north of Jacksonville, was trying to save other people when they say a tree fell on his truck, killing him there on the scene. Meantime, hundreds of structures also damaged across the state. Roughly 1,100 people in shelters right now. We're told one of those shelters even lost its roof. New video in the Newsplex at this noon hour shows the aftermath of some of this storm surge and stuff out of Atlanta, in a neighborhood. You can see how roads have turned into complete rivers from this excessive flooding. Cars completely submerged underwater as some residents are trying to navigate and walk through those floodwaters. And
that's Georgia. Extensive drone damage survey. All right, Keaton Beach, Florida. I can't play this video. It's a storm chasing video and I'll get a copyright strike. Look at this. And I think they had a tornado. It looks like they had a tornado, right? All of these homes destroyed, gone. They're gone. They're gone. Nothing left but the concrete slab, their foundation. So, this is Florida. Then it moves on up, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, This, even though it has its roof, you can see that it's been pretty much hollowed out. Gee, it looks like a bomb hit, right? Look at all of these homes. All of these, they're gone. I mean, so many people are having difficulty paying their bills, buying food. And even those who live in homes on the water, and you would think, oh, they're flush. No, an awful lot of people are not flush. They're cashed out. So we can't make any presumptions of, well, you know, these people are rich. They'll be fine. You can't go there. A drone video shows Florida homes collapsed into ocean.
Well, Mike, we are on one of the last standing, probably structurally safe dunes here. All of these homes surrounding us, several of them have collapsed, and we know about 7 of them are collapsed, and a couple more are on the verge. But we do have that new video. I want to go ahead and walk you through now. I want to give credit to Bridgepoint Global. They are the ones who put this video together. And this is the first time we're really being able to see from this vantage point what this devastation is looking like today. You were able to see several homes have already collapsed in. The pools are hanging on by a thread if they have not collapsed in. And you can see the problem is the storm surge has been coming in, eating away at the dune. So even if parts of the house are still standing up, you can see how it's kind of caved in underneath these houses. And I mean, obviously palm trees, other things falling in as well, but it's just showing you how much this storm surge already is adding insult to injury. Most of these houses, their seawalls went down during Hurricane Ian, so they did not have the protective barrier when this storm came in to try and save them. We were talking to the county a couple days ago as they were prepping for this storm, and they said, you know, most homeowners just along Volusia County who
Oh my God. Thanks, GeoFactor 3. I just saw your this was last year. This was last year. Sorry. I didn't even see the Nicole part of this. I apologize, Volusia County. Well, Volusia County got hit again. This was a year ago. Now, Volusia County is suffering. Okay, I apologize. But here, Chattahoochee River overflows, causing flooding in Cobb County. This is Tennessee. I hope it's Tennessee. There are so many places, so many states that have the same name of their counties. So let me just Georgia.
And you can see why they can't get to those power lines to actually fix them. I spoke with a gentleman about an hour ago who lives down this street. He used his paddleboard in order to get here to dry land, and he says there are places down there that are still more than 5 feet deep. This wasn't the kind of day you could rush. Drivers found themselves turning around when trees blocked the path. Cars crawled on the open roads, taking in the flood damage.
I was afraid of it, but this is kind of what I expected.
And some homeowners had to find creative ways to get around the Chattahoochee River as it swelled, engulfing streets, playgrounds, and yards.
I had a bucket in the yard that is straight sided, so it's accurate, and it's got 9 inches of water in it.
Without power, neighbors chose to walk along Paces Ferry Road in Cobb County, comparing the damage to the heavy rains in 2009.
There are a lot of new houses now that have replaced homes that were in 2009, and those have been built up. Their ground floors are unoccupied.
I think there was more water, but not a lot more water.
It was still enough water to wash away the outdoor seating area at Canoe, a restaurant on the river.
I don't think I'd be surfing in that. Here's the evacuation. The Waterville Dam fails.
Tennessee are underwater right now in the wake of Helene.
Countless roads are closed, and TDOT is telling people to consider Western North Carolina closed. Here are some examples of why. Look at this. This is what parts of Cobb County look like right now. This is the exit to Hartford off I-40, which is exit 447. That's closed right now, obviously. Water there almost to the rooftops of buildings.
TDOT sharing these videos on social media telling us that I-40 East is also closed between the two Newport exits at mile marker 432 because of what you're seeing here. Serious flooding in Tennessee and Western North Carolina, rushing water that has been coming up to the edge of the interstate.
Back to Hartford for a moment. Earlier in the day, TDOT shared this video. Watch as a propane tank moves across the flooded street. You can see they're apparently propelled by gas that was escaping inside.
Wow. Now, tonight, Cobb County under a state of emergency because of the flooding. Here you can see the Pigeon River, where that water is so high it is splashing against the bottom of the bridge in some areas.
Breaking news. Downtown Newport, we've learned, has been ordered to evacuate. The County Emergency Management Agency sharing that people need to leave the area after what we are told is a, quote, catastrophic failure of the Waterville Dam. This is right at the Tennessee-North Carolina state line.
Now, the mayor of Cobb County, Rob Mathis, wants people
Certainly, in the eastern half of the country are very busy today. What happened? Very busy surviving. So, yeah, all right, skip that. Houses float away.
Oh, there goes. Literal houses floating away.
All right, so Ellen,
Come on.
No, we're just coming straight to you. Did you need to sit down? Okay, go ahead. Take a seat. We got time. You're okay. You're okay.
Let's have a cocktail.
Ellen said, let's have a cocktail.
Who are you, sir?
This is Kenny, the photographer I work with.
Okay, hello, Kenny.
So Ellen,
Yes.
it's a tough time for you, right? You're weighing a decision. What's going through your mind right now?
I hope I make the right one. I've been through a couple of these things, and I just feel more comfortable at this age. It's not that easy to just pick up and leave. It's just that simple. When you're young and you can do everything fast and everything else, but it's like I've been here too long. And I don't think I'm being stupid. That's what people have been said. Ellen, you're being stupid. I don't think so, but this is my decision. And it's just, I just want to stay in my home.
And when you see something like Helene coming this way,
I know. I mean, honest to God, like I said, I've been sitting here watching what channel, the Fox 222. And I'm not stupid. It's very scary. This one is going to be the worst one I think we've ever had. But
is that what people are saying?
yeah.
You're calling your friends. Who are you just on the phone with now, if you don't mind me asking?
A friend of mine, he just wanted to see if, Ellen, are you leaving? And I said, no, you know, you only have a couple of more. I said, I realize that, honey. And everybody wants the best for you. They truly do. But I think sometimes when you get old, they kind of feel like you don't have the mind like you used to, and you're not quite capable of making decisions. I know what I want, and this is what I want.
So, Nicole, this is the decision, and this is kind of a theme that's playing out as you go around, you talk to people. We see the big monstrous storm barreling down on this part of the country. You forget, hey, there are real people here. Here in Steinhatchee, she has dealt with 3 just in the last 13 months, like Brooke mentioned. But that's a real decision she is going to make. And she said she's still watching the forecast, but she's watching it very closely. And she does have a backup plan. I should say that Ellen does have a backup plan. She has a backpack. She is ready to go. Somebody's calling to check on her, but it's something she's very, very much so weighing right now.
Well, yeah, and Xavier, I have to say, here in the studio, all of our hearts are going out to Ellen. Is there anything that could potentially convince her to leave?
So, Ellen, we're on with Nicole Burley, and everyone in the studio, they think you are so lovely, and they're trying to figure out if there's anything that could convince you to leave at this point.
I've had some good people trying to convince me. I mean, really good. A couple of people from the sheriff's department. Damn it, they tried their darndest, but it's like, I told you what happened to me in the last one. And I'm thinking, no.
Okay, good. I was glad to hear that there is someone that hopefully will come and get her if she decides to change her mind. But when you get older, you just don't have the mind. Forget about the physical capability, but the mind, to figure all these things out. That's why the elderly need to be protected by others. That's why community was so important. St. Pete, the sewer treatment facility goes offline. St. Petersburg.
The Northeast Sewage Treatment Plant facility in St. Pete that was shut down to protect it from storm surge, that has caused some complications for residents in that area, what they can and cannot do. We have Yolanda Fernandez from the city of St. Pete on the phone with us right now. Yolanda, can you hear us?
Yes. All right. Yolanda, this was a real possibility. You all discussed it before. And now when we look at this, I mean, people really don't need to be draining any water. They can still drink it, though.
Yes. No, this is a very serious situation, and this is not a decision that the city made lightly.
Unfortunately, in order to preserve that plant so that people can have sewage, service after the storm, they're just going to have to suffer for a couple of days, and our crews are standing by to try to do everything they can to fix it. But the fact is that the plant is shut down, and if you live north of 30th Avenue North and east of I-275 in that part of the city, in the northeast section of the city, you do not have sewage service, which means you still have potable water. Clean water will still come out of your faucets, but you can't let anything go down the drain. If you flush your toilet, the possibility is very high that sewage will come back up into your home. And then you've got a big problem. And we're trying to alert people. We waited until the very last minute to make this decision, and so at this late hour, we're trying to notify as many people as possible.
Yolanda, we know this is an inconvenience for a lot of folks here, but it's an important thing for people to know about and do and comply with. How will people know when it is safe, when you've remedied this problem?
They'll notify them. That's how. It would be better that they didn't have drinkable water, but they were able to use their toilets. So how long are they going to keep that shut down? And they did it preventatively. There wasn't any real reason to do it. They just went ahead and did it. Really? So all of those people can't use their toilets. That's an inconvenience. That's way more than an inconvenience. Yeah. Steinhatchee, Florida. Can't play this, but look at the flood. Look at these homes. It's a lot of water. The homes are under. Yeah. So it just feels like it's every week that we are seeing massive destruction. Atlanta. I think this was the video, the first video that I saw this morning. And I was like, are you flipping kidding me? Why aren't people questioning? Why? Look at what they're walking in, okay? Atlanta is a little bit north of like midpoint, Georgia. So that hurricane went through a lot of land, and this is what it does. Hurricanes, well, they were supposed to be wind events. Oh, right. That's what they were. Wind. Not this flooding. No. But here we go.
Bob, we're watching video of you saving this woman. Are you guys okay? That's the most important thing. Are both of you okay?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we put her in the car. She was cold. I gave her my shirt. Her husband's going to pick her up. The fire truck came. They're good. Everyone's good. So let's get back to it. It was this car right over there.
Okay.
No.
So they're walking in like 4 feet of water in Atlanta metro. Atlanta residents, well, a whole lot. Apartment complexes, the first floor got flooded out, trees down, power outages.
I wasn't even expecting to be nothing like this. I thought maybe like wind damage or anything, like trees falling. things of that nature. But I never expected this. This is beyond my dreams. I woke up to like, I have to be to work at 6. So I wake up every morning about 4:30. When I woke up this morning, I woke up to horns blowing, and I looked out the window and I seen this, and I seen my cars, and I couldn't go to work, so I notified my job and let them know and took pictures and everything.
So this morning, and actually we live on the backside right next to the creek, and as soon as we looked out the window, the creek was like right there at our door almost. Like if it would have kept raining, our apartment would be flooded right now, actually.
But of course, an awful lot of people are losing their insurance still. Okay. Do you see how it's kind of like the perfect storm? Oh, no pun intended, but it really is. And here, it's happening all over. Floridians losing their insurance. This is in California.
All right, I want to tell you about somebody named Carrie McCalmont. She lives in Glendale in a home that she's been in since 2004. And like many in the county, the home is in a high fire hazard zone. This summer, she got a letter from her insurance company threatening to drop her. They'd gotten a hold of aerial photos of her place and decided there was just too much brush close to the house. They demanded she remove every plant within 5 feet of the home. So she did that, spending thousands of dollars ditching bushes and trimming trees. Even the fire department says there was no threat to her property after the work was completed. Still, the insurance company said, not good enough. We need you now to cut down that tree that you see there that's near the home. But there's a catch. It is an oak tree. And as the LA Daily News reports, in Glendale, indigenous trees are natural aesthetic resources that add distinction and character to its neighborhoods. They cannot be damaged or destroyed. It's the same in LA, Pasadena, and many cities in Southern California, but that is not enough for the insurance company.
So, even those with insurance have to battle their insurance companies to get what they have been spending their premiums. You pay their premiums for years and years and years. You have some damage to your home. You have to fight your insurance company. Reassessment letters. This is happening all over the country with a whole lot of people who are getting these assessment letters. Their property value has skyrocketed, which means so will their property tax. And all of these people are like, whoa, no, this is way too high. But I also, in a live, I think last week, included this video of a man who did a study and did a lot of research, and it's all corrupt. Our entire country is just a cesspool of corruption, of stealing money and property. So, and all you have to do is put in property assessment corruption. You'll come up with the videos. More people, more apartment complexes. They're forcing them to close. You know, I'm just showing you people, even if you don't have, you're not suffering the consequences of weather warfare. Property is being taken from people. People are being shoved out of apartments. A whole lot are facing losing their apartments because of violations. So when we've been talking about Agenda 2030 for years, getting people, hey, this is what's going to be happening. We're seeing it. The drones that insurance companies are using to fly over everybody's house. Oh, we're canceling your insurance. You have a tree. How many people have trees that there's a limb that overhangs the house? Wow, a whole lot. But that's why the insurance company is canceling her. And this is happening now with a speed that is just knocking an awful lot of people off the financial cliff. And these apartments, they want to close all of these apartments and force the tenants out due to, violations. The owner is not doing anything, the upkeep, so who suffers? It's the tenants, not the owner, not all the local government officials, the tenants. Insurers keep dropping California homeowners. And yeah, this woman talking about how she's paid for years, her premiums, never are they late. I pay, and I get a notice that my insurance company is just canceling me outright. Now, an awful lot of people who still have a mortgage, the cancellation of insurance can screw up an awful lot, because if you have a mortgage with a bank, they require you to have insurance. So we're back to Florida. I'm going to post a link to this 11.5-minute video. And boy, in this one area of Florida, you'll see the destruction is pretty intense. But I'm just going to play a few minutes. Jonathan, don't give me a copyright strike. I've recommended you before, actually. So I'm recommending Jonathan again. And here we go. This is a home. This is a home. This is the roof.
What you're looking at is one of the most terrifying forces of nature, storm surge.
Oh, man. There's somebody swimming over there.
Holy crap, there is.
If you live on the water, sometimes you're going to live in the water. Why do I say storm surge is one of the most powerful forces on the planet? It's scenes like this. Just how quickly water can wipe away years of history. And that's what's happened here on Cedar Key.
This is devastation. The beachfront over there, you can see right through it. And I think that was built in the early 1970s, and it's never been this bad.
And he shows how bad it is. So the link again is in the chat. Just imagine that you have a home there and now it's gone. Okay. What would you do? You might be somebody who has resources. You might be somebody who has decent family. You wouldn't be someone who has no one at their back, standing with their head in hands, thinking, what the hell am I going to do? Because an awful lot of people are thinking just that. Now, yeah, we've got more. We've got more. I'm telling you, I've never seen the destruction on a scale that this thing did. And you see the satellite, it's still spinning, right? It's still spinning into Georgia, into South Carolina.
For people in the metro area, it is still very dangerous out there. The loss of life that we've seen, a lot of it has been by fallen trees because of saturated ground. And even though the winds are starting to die down, there's still trees literally falling. One fell at the mansion across the driveway after we left this morning, and basically before we got here to the State Operations Center. We're continuing to see that in the metro area, and I know we'll see that in East Georgia as well. We also have the potential for flash flooding, and the waters are going to continue to rise for the next 24 to potentially 48 hours, especially on the northern part of the state. So if you're out, you need to be weather aware. If you don't have to get out, I would just tell you to try to hunker down at the house, or limit your activities. Power outages, we have 1 million customers that are currently, or 1 million meters, much more customers, but 1 million meters that are without power. Our utility companies are working as we speak. They literally started going in behind the storm as soon as day broke. We remain in constant contact with our utility providers in that regard. Georgia Power has roughly 10,000 personnel responding, and our EMCs have literally thousands that are doing the same, and we thank them for that. We have 17 shelters open across the state, housing 1,100 people.
I was walking my dog at about like 11:30, getting ready for bed, and I noticed the water was approaching the fence over on my side of the complex. So I started knocking on doors saying, hey, if you've got towels, let's try to barricade the bottoms of the doors. Called my family in Tampa and was checking in on them because I was like, if it's this bad here, I wonder what it's like there. And then one of the neighbors showed me a video of this side of the unit or the complex, and it just looked bad. So I called my buddy down the street and said, hey, let's load up in the truck and try to go help out. There was water almost to the second floor, some of the buildings in the back, and it's just people are in hysterics. I mean, entire livelihoods are destroyed right now.
Well, I expect it to be bad because usually when it rains normally, the bridge is like this and the water's usually right here. So I expected with all the rainfall, it was going to get way bigger, but I did not expect this bad. But we didn't hear anything.
And you see it bubbling up. Right, it's overwhelmed the storm drains, so. $4 million without power. I don't remember ever seeing a storm knock out that amount of people without power.
There was a number of fires, as you can see there on the screen, where the fire trucks, Tampa Fire, wanted to get there, but the water was just simply too deep, and they couldn't. The Brave Fire, Tampa Fire was awesome. We worked with them on and off all night. They were doing the best.
Tampa, Florida. Okay.
Absolute best that they can, but the reality is 8 feet of water is 8 feet of water. So we were able to get in on boats and bring people out, but a lot of damage tonight. There's a lot of families lost a lot last night.
It's so emotional, Brian. And as we look at this video of this family getting in a boat with the fire on the house next door, what do these families say when rescue comes, and how shook up are folks right now?
What do they say? What? I guess they're going to say, well, it's about time you got here. What? I guess they'll say, thank you. I appreciate the lift out of the 8 feet of water. Yeah. A whole lot. I mean, counties after counties after counties in a whole lot of states. This is sand pushed up on cars. Valdosta, Georgia. Without power, trees coming down on homes, damaging the homes, coming down on cars, damaging the cars, and a whole lot of flooding. Buckhead, Atlanta. I think that was the guy with the German Shepherd. That was his apartment complex. Suburbs of Atlanta.
Hold on one second.
Wow. Residents ride inflatable mattress, Atlanta.
Oh my God, they're really on a bullet mattress. Can't even see the pole. Leasing office.
Look at these cars. There have to be some people out there that are questioning, like, what the hell is going on, right? Gwinnett County, trapped. People are trapped. Can't get across because the currents are so strong. Asheville, North Carolina.
Yeah, guys, this has been one of the hardest hit areas right here. You can see there are giant things that are flooding down here in Biltmore Village. We have seen so many large objects that have just been swept away. I'm talking, giant propane tanks, and we've seen garbage dumpsters, and whatever that may be, it's a very large trailer of some sort. But, for the majority of the day, it's just been news crews, first responders, and police. But we're starting to get a number of people out here now that there's no rain to really check some things out. I just ran into Sean and Kelsey, who are neighbors. And Sean, what made you want to come out and see this?
Well, I work maintenance for a couple of properties around here, and that's what brought me out to see if I'm going to be able to make it into work later today or tomorrow, and just to see how I can assist with what comes up.
Yeah, and Kelsey, for you, when you got out here and you got eyes on this, what went through your head?
Just devastating. I've seen it flooded before, but nothing like this ever. I just wonder, when it's going to be back to normal, really. The railroad just went through what was that? A railroad car just took out a crossing about 30 seconds ago and just floated on down. So
how does that make you feel, knowing, the neighborhood that you live in, this is what it looks like?
I drive through here like 4 days a week, and it's just devastating to see it be like this for sure. I was definitely expecting flooding, but nothing like this. Yeah. So
Sean,
devastating.
And that's what everybody has been saying. They didn't expect what they're now living. Asheville, North Carolina. The cars underwater. Asheville, North Carolina. Today, okay? Today.
The forecast was for a record crest of the Swannanoa River here in Asheville, North Carolina, and we greatly exceeded that forecast. The original forecast, 21 feet, and the crest at 27 feet. Still coming up a bit more this afternoon. Look at this behind me. This is the highest crest in history, actually dating back to well before 1920 with one of the other records. And this is what it looks like here in Asheville near Biltmore Village. For reference, that building that you see sticking out of the water down there, that is a Wendy's. So if you were in that Wendy's, it would be well over your head. It is just the roof of that peeking out. If you look farther down here, you can see that the water is just flowing. It's not just kind of standing, it is flowing still. There's a lot of debris. There have been many propane tanks that we've seen. You can smell the smell of gasoline, so you can just see how high this water has gotten. And then far off in the distance, you can obviously see that the police are there. We've been seeing them do some high water rescues. So
Look how tiny, almost no roots, no roots. If you have trees around your house, and if they come down, they could damage your house. If you have the resources, remove the trees.
in Western North Carolina should be considered closed. Not only that, we are hearing that I-26 near Asheville is closed. All lanes of I-26 closed south of Asheville between exits 44 and exit 53 because of flooding. That is expected to be reopened by 2 p.m. Lanes are now reopened on I-85 north. But I-40 closed near Asheville. All lanes of I-40 closed 1 mile west of exit 64 near Black Mountain. That's expected to be back open by 3 o'clock. And all lanes of I-40 closed between exit 66 and exit 72. Thank you so much for being out there in the conditions to bring us this. What are you seeing right now?
Well, I'll tell you, we've had to move our car up several times because of this flooding situation that we have here. I mean, I'll show you this gas station completely inundated with the flooding. I'm sure they weren't even expecting to get this. No sandbags there. And if we can, try to zoom in towards the Biltmore Estate entrance there, because that is really where you can see this water rushing into that entrance. I mean, we just saw this water.
About an hour and a half ago. I honestly have never seen that. So folks, you're looking at this is kind of breaking news as we're talking. This is downtown Boone, King Street.
And I've never seen it. Biltmore Village underwater. This is in North Carolina.
Sydney and Gabby, we are on McDowell Street heading into Biltmore Village. I'm going to step off to the side so you can see why we are here. That is the Swannanoa River running down the middle of Biltmore Village. the entirety of Biltmore Village is now a byway for the Swananoa River. Josh, can you get a good shot of how fast that water is moving right there by the sign? Thank you so much. So you can see just the speed of the Swan.
Asheville. Not sure if this is the same. No, I don't think it is. Several propane tanks have been floating. Hurricanes are not rain events. They're wind. Wind. So to have all of this flooding past Florida, Georgia, central Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, and then on up, I don't know if Kentucky got any flooding, Ohio, but they've been affected by the remnants of Hurricane Helene. I never heard of these storms having remnants for decades of my life. Then suddenly they came about in the last decade. Oh, remnants. Remnants all the way up. Hurricane coming in, hits Florida, goes up the East Coast, into Canada. And people aren't questioning this. Storm drains, they were just overwhelmed. Tornado damage, Rocky Mount, CBS 17. Okay. I should have wrote it down. North Carolina. Tornado damage. Gas leak. Building gone. What do you say? You think a lot of people are hurting today? Keaton Beach, Florida. Whole lot. So many places, so many counties, so many homes, so many buildings, so many cars, so many. I'm sure the number dead is higher since I started this live. Oh, right. Okay. Hospital in Tennessee. 54, and some were patients and employees. Patients and employees had to come up on the roof of this hospital and wait to get rescued in Tennessee. See the people walking? I think there's less people because the rescue wasn't of all of them. Look at these homes. Look at this flooding. So that hospital's pretty much shot. Look at this. Oh, God. Yeah. Powerful winds to Georgia. Valdusta homes. She's just happy that she wasn't in the bedroom when it fell, that tree. This was an early one, 4 killed. 4. The number kept going up, 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 up. Look at how high the water. That's the water line.
This area set a record for storm surge. Shane here lives in this community. He's been patiently waiting. Shane, you made the wise decision, we think now, right, to evacuate. As you stand here and talk to me, what's going through your head?
It's life, you know, our home, everything we have accomplished and worked for in our life, it's gone. And the only thing we can do is try to pick up and go on with our life, because people, you know, needs help. We need help, and a lot more people needs help here.
By the way, what you were just looking at, that's the foundation to his house. That's the foundation. His house, well, is over here. Moved quite a bit. Yeah, people need help. And wow, I just...
Up here, it just ain't us, and we would sure appreciate it if y'all would help us.
And you were telling me you had just gotten back into your home. I mean, you guys had to deal with the Idalia.
Yeah, our house was right behind that old crab plant right yonder, in there, and we just got in it. Started living good, but right now our house is way over here behind them cabbages.
Can't even see it.
No, our house is up in yonder. We just had it rebuilt, new electricity, air conditioning. Home. We had a life, but here's our life now.
When you look at that water line up there and you think, are you really glad you evacuated?
Oh yeah, we done learned, you know, from the last 2 or 3 we've had flood and all that, but this one here, it pretty well, it got it this time.
I mean, you can even see the water line on the blue house over there.
Yeah.
Shane, it's safe to say if you didn't.
We've been fighting for our life. If we wouldn't be.
I've shown you just that much. This is another area in Johnson County. All right, so yeah, it's hard to take. And I really do hope, because I do know that there's people in the chat, others who will come and watch the live once it posts. They are close to a lot of these areas. I hope they go down. Even if it's just for a couple of hours, you know, pitch in, do something. Because even though community has been shot to hell and relationships are just kind of a farce in our country, we're still, you know, just one big family. Oh, right. Family's been shot to hell. Okay. Yeah. Do what you can. And I wish I wasn't really watching. Sandra said that she was going to help Real Fishing Life. And I don't know how. So do you see the scale of this destruction? You think they're just going to stop? No. They just keep bringing out more and more and more destruction because we're just sitting back allowing ourselves to be destroyed. And a whole lot of people, you know, just they can't face this kind of evil. They can't face the fact that man is controlling weather. I guess it would just be too disruptive for them. But because they can't, this is what we're living. So I sure do hope that none of you, those of you who have not experienced weather warfare directly, I hope you never, ever have to, because it's not fun. It's not fun being displaced. So yeah, and I'm sure days of reporting on these floods because the rivers are still coming up. It seems that every river in the states that I have shown has been rising and rising, and that's what is all this flooding about. Oh, God. All right. Thank you for showing up. I hope to see you tomorrow night. Good night and good luck. Ciao, guys.